A major earthquake has struck Japan. 7.2 on the Richter scale. Susan Smith, the prosecution asked for death in the death of her children. And Rich and Richer, two characters in Dumb and Dumber. It pays to be stupid.
From NBC News, this is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
Good evening. We begin tonight with a late-breaking story from Japan where a major earthquake has now struck the main island of Honshu, and the port city of Kobe has been very hard hit. As you can see, the magnitude is 7.2 on the Richter scale. It is now early on Tuesday morning in Japan. These are the scenes from Kobe. Sections of the earthquake of the freeway system have collapsed. People have already gone to the shelters there. Hundreds have been trapped beneath the buildings there. We're told that the shake was vertical, not horizontal. These are live pictures on morning television. Again, it came just about the time of the rush hour, and the major highway system in that big port city of a population 1,400,000 thereabouts has been struck very hard. We get a complete wrap-up on the details of all of this now from NBC's Robert Hager in Washington.
This was how it looked as the earthquake hit just before 6 a.m. Japanese time. It was fast, the most violent of the shaking, lasting only about 20 seconds. But the first pictures of the city of Kobe, Japan's sixth largest with 1.4 million people, show great devastation. Through the city of Kobe, fires have broken out. Many people reported trapped in those buildings. The overall death toll is unknown at this early hour, though even first reports say scores are dead, 351 believed trapped, and 200 more injured, and that's in Kobe alone. What is clear so far is that the toll will rise. There is said to be damage as well in the big city of Osaka, Japan's second largest, and very heavy damage in the city of Ashiya, not far from Kobe. A bus hangs over the edge of a broken freeway in Kobe. There are large breaks in many sections of the Kobe freeway systems, reminiscent of freeway damage seen in the U.S. earthquakes in San Francisco and Los Angeles. A railway station in Kobe, dozens of trains blocked as an entire section of supported tracks gave way. A shrine heavily damaged, huge pillars scattered like pickup sticks. First reports say the earthquake measured 7.2 on the Richter scale. That's just slightly more than the 1989 quake in San Francisco, which was 7.1, and way more than last year's Los Angeles quake, which was 6.8. Throughout Kobe this morning, there are rescue operations, and on the streets, old people looking dazed as the aftershocks continue. Robert Hager, NBC News, reporting.
Back in this country, when Susan Smith, a young mother from Union City, South Carolina, finally confessed that she deliberately killed her two youngsters, many in the community, even those who knew her well, said she should die for her sins. Even so, when the prosecutor announced today that he would seek to have her put to death in the electric chair, it was one more jarring moment for that small town. NBC's Bob Dotson in Union City tonight.
Susan Smith was taken from a solitary confinement cell for her court appearance this afternoon. She hardly glanced at Solicitor Tommy Pope telling the judge he would press for the death penalty.
Susan Smith, 2 counts of murder.
Her attorney, David Brooke, told NBC News she's been taking an antipsychotic drug called risperidone for several weeks. Only when she stood for arraignment did every word seem to hit her.
Killed one Alexander Tyler Smith by means of drowning, and said victim died as a result thereof.
Smith's attorney said he wasn't ready to enter a plea, so Judge Costa Fliconis entered one for her, not guilty. At Smith's first appearance, an angry crowd circled the courthouse. There was none of that today. But there was still bitterness.
Put her in a room somewhere and let her suffer. Yeah, let her have the kids' pictures around or something.
She'll really go through hell if she gets to live. She really will. She'd really probably be better off if they just go ahead and give her the death penalty. We love Susan. We miss Susan. We can't bear the thought of losing her, too.
Susan Smith's husband, David, was not in court today, but prosecutors say he supports their call for the death penalty. Prosecutors insist there will be no plea bargains now, but that issue is not closed yet. Under South Carolina law, the jury, not the prosecutor, not the judge, the jury decides which convicted felons are put to death. There are 57 on death row in South Carolina. Only 3 are there for domestic violence. but none of them are accused of drowning their own children. Bob Dotson, NBC News, Union, South Carolina.
In Los Angeles, an even more sensational murder trial is about to begin, and for the defense now, a family feud. NBC's David Bloom tonight on the Simpson defense team battling each other.
He broke the man's elbow.
Today, a simmering feud between two of O.J. Simpson's lead attorneys erupted into a very public war of words, pitting two old friends, Robert Shapiro and F. Lee Bailey, against one another. At issue, leaks to the press. Shapiro publicly accusing Bailey of planting stories that have made Shapiro look bad and hurt O.J. Simpson's interests. Shapiro told the Los Angeles Times, "We can't have snakes in the bed trying to sleep with us." Bailey responded today, saying he was distressed by the comments, adding, O.J. Simpson can hardly feel well served on the eve of trial by this public outburst. When F. Lee Bailey was charged with drunken driving 13 years ago, it was Robert Shapiro who defended him. Now these two old friends rarely speak, sitting at opposite ends of the defense table. Shapiro wants Bailey off the team, reportedly accusing Bailey's staff of leaking stories about Shapiro's diminished role, even leaking O.J. Simpson's confidential police statements to a supermarket tabloid.
If something that is critical was leaked, then that would mean that O.J. Simpson had not received adequate representation, and that goes to the very heart of a right to a fair trial.
Newsweek reports Simpson told his lawyers to stop feuding, saying, "It's my expletive life that's on the line." With defense lawyers feuding, and with opening arguments only 3 days away, NBC News has confirmed that DNA tests on blood found in O.J. Simpson's Ford Bronco show blood not only from Simpson, but from murder victims Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman as well. David Bloom, NBC News, Los Angeles.
When NBC Nightly News continues the fight over how to remember Martin Luther King Jr. on his day. Also, Russia's death trap in Chechnya. Its bitter cost is now hitting home hard. And diagnosing dyslexia. There's new hope.
Look, a MasterCard won't make you different or unique, okay? Actually, maybe it will. I mean, millions of people use MasterCard, but yours is meant for you and you alone. So if someone steals it, instead of worrying about people running around pretending to be you, call right away and cancel it. Because, after all, there's only one you. What's more, even if somebody does manage to charge stuff to you, you won't pay a cent. And we may even be able to get you a new card the next day. But just for you. Now, how's that for a useful card? MasterCard, it's more than a credit card, it's smart money.
He peered down into the rugged landscape of Kellogg's low-fat granola and paused, almost afraid to disturb all those massive formations of flavor. But that's what he'd come for, to dig in, setting loose a whole avalanche of taste. Tumbling clumps of rolled oats, brown sugar, and raisins cast into rivers of milk, and great clumps of wheat and almonds dashed against cinnamon shores. Now this is a mountain of taste, he thought. Kellogg's low-fat granola. Get a taste of it.
Come up for air. Now you come up on a red so big the building cannot hold it, cannot keep it from clashing, horribly, perfectly flawless into your eyes. Wiggle with green, purple, magenta. They scream, how they must have screamed off the brush. Quiet, be quiet. No, do not be quiet.
This was Martin Luther King Day, marking what would have been his 66th birthday with ceremonies across the country. Wall Street marked the occasion with a noontime moment of silence. President Clinton was in Denver, encouraging King's message of community and mutual respect. And in New Hampshire, the only state where there is no official King holiday, some protesters engaged in peaceful demonstrations. In King's birthplace, Atlanta, it was a day to remember the legacy, but there was controversy as well. Here's NBC's Kenley Jones.
The annual celebration to honor King in his hometown is always one of the biggest. And it is often one of the most emotional. At a memorial service, Andrew Young was overcome as he recalled how King predicted he would die in the civil rights struggle.
And so it was very important that he have a family that could carry on. This is an inheritance born out of tragedy. We have preserved it unselfishly.
The family has used the holiday celebration this year to take the offensive in a bitter dispute over who will control King's legacy. The family is trying to stop construction of this $11.8 million tourist center being built for the National Park Service. The Kings want the land to build their own museum, saying again today the Park Service is not qualified to interpret Dr. King's life.
Leaving this in the hands of the government, what might happen to the history, what might happen to the way it's presented to the world.
The National Park Service has a role to play, and we do that quite consistently with a number of very important figures all over the country.
Critics of the Kings say the tourist center would benefit the entire community, not just one family.
It is selfish. It's kind of a unilateral decision that I think they don't have any right to make.
But despite calls for a compromise, the family has shown no signs of giving in. Kenley Jones, NBC News, Atlanta.
In other news tonight, 129 Haitians being held by the U.S. Navy at Guantanamo were forcibly returned home today. They had refused a U.S. offer of job training and $80 to go voluntarily. Pope John Paul is in New Guinea tonight. Security was tight, as it had been in the Philippines, where police reported they had broken up a Muslim extremist plot to kill the Holy Father. When we come up next, bloody Chechnya, the pain that hits home in Russia.
Have you tried multigrain Cheerios?
Multigrain? I wouldn't like it. I'll tell you why. First, it's healthy. It can't be good. This is good. Second, probably tastes like cardboard.
Crispy. Nice and light. Crunchy.
Third, it's too bulky.
3, 4.
4 different kinds of oats, toasted with a touch of
Brown sugar. These are delicious.
too much of that whole grain, new age sort of stuff. Know what I mean?
Once you try it, you can't deny it.
I like it. I'll tell you why. First,
You make me feel so young.
Promise Ultra, the first fat-free margarine, just 5 calories a serving.
You make me feel so young.
Fat-free Promise Ultra. Get heart smart.
Monday, I soak my dentures. Tuesday, I brush. Wednesday, I soak.
Wait, all you need is denture cream. Why soak when denture cream gets dentures twice as clean and has minty mouthwash ingredients? All you need is denture cream.
Every day.
The government is holding your tax refund. It's your money. Don't wait any longer than you have to. Get the largest refund you qualify for as fast as you can with H&R Block's Rapid Refund electronic filing. You can use it whether Block prepares your taxes or not. We'll put your money where you want it, right where it belongs, in your hands. Rapid Refund from H&R Block. Get your money fast.
Overseas now, in the bloodbath in Chechnya, where Russia stepped up its bombing campaign, while heavily outgunned rebel forces still managed to hold off the Russian advance to the capital city's body-littered streets. On television in Moscow, Russia's prime minister called for an unconditional ceasefire and peace talks with Chechnya. Meanwhile, Chechnya has become Russia's Vietnam. Television images of the war feeding an angry opposition. Here's NBC's John Dancy.
Russia is growing weary of this war. Public opinion at home and abroad opposes it. These pictures shown on Russian TV last Wednesday show the horror that many Russian families already know. Untrained units of conscripts chewed up in Chechen ambushes. Their bodies are returned in plain crates in the middle of the night, handed over to their families without ceremony. The Russian government still will not admit to the number, but it is thought to be in the thousands. Andrei Akhmadulin was 18 years old, a draftee. He'd been in the army only 6 months when his unit was sent to storm Grozny. His mother grieves and rages.
They've sent me what was left of him. He was a young kid with no training. He hardly knew how to use a gun. Our children are being sent into a slaughterhouse.
As in the Afghan war, it is the mothers who are writing letters to authorities saying their sons are untrained. These 2 mothers helped their sons desert. Both said they were unready to fight.
I'm not trained as a soldier. I've only been to the rifle range twice, and we were given only 12 rounds each, and it's the same with the other units.
Because of that, the Russian attack on Grozny is again bogged down. Commanders are frustrated. I've got no proper soldiers to fight with, this officer said. We have trained units. Why aren't trained units being used to fight the Chechens? Day by day, the frustration and the anger grow. In their own way, they are a force more powerful than the Chechen fighters. They are pushing the Russian government toward a ceasefire. John Dansley, NBC News, Moscow.
And the kind of financial terror continues in Mexico, where the peso was down again today. The sinking economy now has dampened the once high expectations among that country's middle class. A plan to prop up the peso now is being negotiated in Washington, but it is going to be a very lean year south of the border, and more chaos is expected. Here's NBC's George Lewis.
Maria Robles owns a small pharmacy in Tijuana. She and her husband, a doctor, were constructing a new house behind the pharmacy. But when the interest on their adjustable rate loan doubled from 21 to 42%, they had to put the house on hold. We had to stop the house, she says. We couldn't afford the loan. Since devaluation, Mexicans have seen a gallon of milk increase 48% to about $2.16. In Tijuana, gasoline, which has always been cheap in Mexico, has risen 17% to about $1.25 a gallon. The new president of Mexico, Ernesto Zedillo, campaigned on the slogan, Bienestar para tu familia, well-being for your family. But 6 weeks into his administration, that feeling of well-being has vanished. Rogelio Rodriguez, who's going through hard times at his camera store, says people are upset.
We are angry, of course, and personally I am, because it's basically, it has affected, my personal economy.
Every devaluation of the peso here in Tijuana is like an earthquake, but the border is the epicenter.
The devaluation has caused problems on both sides of the border. Each year, Mexicans crossing into the U.S. pump about $2.8 billion into the economy of the San Diego area. Some predict that devaluation could cost U.S. companies a total of $10 billion in lost sales to Mexico. There are other predictions that illegal immigration into the U.S. will take a big upturn, though some Mexican experts say the poor in Mexico no longer have the money to get to the border. The Mexicans, who were promised a few months ago that prosperity was at hand, are now forced to deal with empty promises and empty wallets. George Lewis, NBC News, Tijuana, Mexico.
Back in this country, it was a big day on Wall Street today. The Dow was up almost 24 points in very heavy trading. The NASDAQ index gained 6 points today. When we come back, helping deal with dyslexia by catching it early. Sounds may help. New hope when Nightly News continues.
There's nothing soft about the software business, especially when it's yours. Product cycles used to last years. Mine, more like minutes. The money side is a distraction. It's hard to focus on cash flow and 401k plans while your programs are crashing around you.
Take control of your future. A plan from Merrill Lynch can show you how. And a Merrill Lynch financial consultant has more ways to make the plan work for you than anyone else. The difference is planning. The difference is Merrill Lynch.
I sent him to the store to get some Correctol.
What's the difference?
He brings home this.
It was cheaper. What's the difference?
What's the difference?
Year after year, women have trusted one laxative more than any other, Correctol. Its special formula combines a mild laxative with a stool softener for overnight relief that's gentle, predictable.
Hey, this isn't my regular beer.
It was cheaper. What's the difference?
Correctol, the gentle laxative more women trust.
In Alaska, no one else can do quite what Princess can. You see, no one else has more ways to see Alaska by land and sea than Princess. So when you come to Alaska with us, you'll see it in a way you never thought possible. Princess, it's more than a cruise. It's the Love Boat.
When you manage a restaurant all day, you need the strongest hold you can get. That's why I switched adhesives. Oh, that's good. Now I can sip hot soup at lunch. And still make it to dinner to greet my favorite customers.
Even in the hottest liquids, when other adhesives stop holding, Fix-It and holds stronger and longer.
It's a long, hard day, but I love every minute of it.
for the strongest, longest hold. Fix it in and forget it. Think these stores specialize in electronics? Our hidden cameras show they also specialize in ripping you off. See how the scams work before you get taken. Dateline Tuesday.
On Health Watch tonight, the reading disorder dyslexia. It affects millions of people in this country, and for children who have it, school can be a nightmare. The emotional damage can be enormous. That makes early diagnosis critical, and tonight, there is progress to report. Here's NBC Science correspondent Robert Bazell.
You must know by now that you're talented.
These children receiving intensive reading instruction are among the 1 out of 10 or more American school children who are dyslexic. Dyslexia is difficulty reading that is not caused by poor eyesight or low intelligence. Beth Ringwood, the mother of 3 dyslexic children, knows the pain it can bring.
It's aggravating to think you go through life thinking you're stupid when all it is that your brain is not processing the information properly.
Although it lasts a lifetime, dyslexia causes the most problems in the years when children are supposed to learn to read. Parents and educators are desperate for a way to diagnose dyslexia as early as possible. The sooner the child is diagnosed, the sooner he or she can escape cruel labels and get special education, such as this program at the Windward School in White Plains, New York. Scientists say the key to finding a test is to learn more about what causes dyslexia.
The brain is not one big thing. It's a collection of little special kinds of machines that do special things. There's only 1 or maybe 2 of these that is different in dyslexics.
One major clue to finding a test is that dyslexia runs in families such as the Ringwoods. Last October, scientists studying other families located a gene responsible for some inherited dyslexia, and the hope is that discovery will lead to a simple blood test.
Touch the small black circle and the large blue square.
The Ringwoods are subjects in a research project at Rutgers University that is following up on another key finding, that there is a connection between reading and the way the brain processes sounds.
Our dog chased a cat a mile, didn't he?
The dog chased the cat.
When the teacher shows you a letter and says, this is the letter that goes with the sound ba, if you're confusing ba from da, from ga, etc., it's going to be very difficult to make a good connection between the visual symbol that goes with that, the letter, and the sound.
An outgrowth of the studies of sound processing has been this auditory test that the scientists say can identify dyslexics. Children are asked to discriminate between tones. The infants respond by turning toward a toy. Older children touch the computer screen. The Rutgers scientists say that dyslexics respond to the tones in unique ways. Other scientists say that has not been proven. The researchers say within 2 years, they expect to routinely use the auditory test to diagnose infants at risk for dyslexia. But others insist much more research is needed. Despite such disagreements, the research is progressing. Scientists are confident that soon they will find a test that will bring help sooner to dyslexic children. Robert Bazell, NBC News, New York.
When we come back, an update on the Japan earthquake and also why it's hip to be dumb or dumber still. We'll tell you why when NBC Nightly News continues.
In the 80s, a lot of companies invested their pension funds in questionable real estate. Unfortunately, that's life. In the 80s, we invested most of our pension funds in investment-grade bonds. That's New York Life. New York Life, the company you keep.
My sister and I are best friends since we were girls. And just like back then, we look out for each other. So I told her how my arthritis kept me awake some nights and how I was too worried to take anything. She was. But Ann, she helped. She gave me Tylenol PM. It stops the pain. It helps me sleep. And now with Tylenol PM, I'm up with the sun, fresh as a daisy. Oh, it's so nice to have her to share my worries with. Now she'd only share her secret for growing roses.
Rest easy. It's Tylenol PM.
30 years ago, we promised to take care of each other.
We sure did.
And today, we're taking better care of our health with Ensure.
More than a vitamin supplement, Ensure is a delicious drink with all the nutrients adults need to help stay healthy, active, be energetic.
Drink Ensure as a meal.
Or in between meals.
Ensure is recommended #1 by doctors as a source of complete balanced nutrition.
Ensure to your health.
To our health.
And now there's new Ensure High Protein, low in saturated fat.
I grew up so far out in the sticks, I knew more cows than people. That first night that I spent in the city with my cousin, I'll bet you that I didn't sleep 10 minutes all night long. It was the next morning that I saw my first box of Kellogg's cornflakes. And I thought, my gosh, these must be the richest people in town. They don't have to raise their breakfast.
Kellogg's Cornflakes cereal.
Never tasted anything like them. Still have it.
Every morning, taste them again for the first time.
Tomorrow on Today, working mothers juggling kids and a career. There's a price a family pays. How do some make it worth it? Join us tomorrow and see what a difference today makes.
The big box office film in 1994 was Forrest Gump, about a simple-minded soul with a great heart and an enduring belief in doing good deeds. Gump, however, was pure genius compared to the dopes in Dumb and Dumber, a film that set out to be actively stupid and succeeded to the tune of $90 million and counting. Why? Who knows? NBC's Keith Morrison.
At the hallowed places of American culture, places like New York's Metropolitan Museum, people were dismayed.
Here at Stratphone.
The dumbing of America, I guess. It's too bad.
Or is it?
Don't listen to us.
And a lot of America isn't listening to that stick-in-the-mud stuff.
One for Dumb and Dumber, please.
Some movie analysts thought the people who made Dumb and Dumber were pretty dumb themselves for paying Jim Carrey $7 million to play the lead. Now, of course, they look smart. Movie reviewers called it obvious, banal, lame-brained. Did people listen to those smart reviewers? Of course not.
Oh, look, Frost.
Jeff Daniels gave his career a big boost with an attitude that turns out to have been quite smart.
We showed up every day thinking, is there any way that we can make this more stupid?
In the end, it was very dumb, quite stupid, which made for satisfied customers. And we learned something about dumbness that we should probably have known already.
Yeah, you definitely liked it?
Stop laughing. It was just, I don't know, I gotta see that movie again. I love it.
All of which raises the question, of course, which is dumber, the movie or the effort to analyze it?
Oh, I think there's a great possibility for someone to over-intellectualize something like this, especially intellectuals.
Is this fair analysis?
I think dumbness is in. Real hard thinking is out.
There is nothing particularly new about this, of course. Lots of people have made a smart living playing dumb. Do you think the Three Stooges got reactions like this?
I think it underrates the native intelligence of people, really.
But then, whoever lost money doing that?
Pull over! No, it's a cardigan, but thanks for noticing.
Besides, something else we learned. This movie, though dumb, must have depth. This young man has seen it 3 times.
It gets funnier the more times you see it.
Which sounds distressingly like the invitation for a sequel. Keith Morrison, NBC News, New York.
From the goofy to the very serious, an update now on the situation in Japan. An earthquake 7.2 on the Richter scale struck the main island, especially hard hit the city of Kobe on the western side of the...
Entertainment Tonight.
Entertainment Tonight, Monday at 7:30.
This week on the road, Mary Chapin Carpenter. Performing new songs exclusively for the road. Also featured Rodney Crowell and Maura O'Connell. This week, Mary Chapin Carpenter headlines The Road.
Saturday at 5 on Coin.